Shalom, family. You are now tuned in to TMHC TV, where here it's about knowledge, love, respect, and family. Tonight, we about to get it in. We got a powerful show about to go on. You know I got my boy, my co-host, D Red, the blue collar scholar in the house. We got Do the Knowledge in here, and we got our special guest, Guerrilla Hebrew. Yes, he's in the building. We about to get it in, do a little discussion, talk about some things. I don't know where this show finna go, but I know it's gonna be powerful because the Most High is in here, and it's all praises to the Father. Let's get that part clear first. Now, before we start the show, I'm gonna give my co-host a time to, come in and introduce himself, and we're gonna move on to Do the Knowledge, and then we're gonna bring the guests in. So D Red, come on in, do your thing.
Man, what it do, baby? It's your boy D Red, aka the Blue Collar Scholar, man. Shoot, I'm just glad the boy Killer Gorilla was able to come through, man, and he ain't eat before he came in, man, this time. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm just ready to get it in, man. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up with my ox, man. All praise to the Most High and the Son. And shoot, that's it, man. I ain't really got a whole lot to say, man. I'm just ready to do the damn thing.
So you already know it's gonna be powerful when D Red ain't got a lot to say. So Do the Knowledge, man. Come on in, introduce yourself, man, and so we can get to our special guest of the night.
Man, peace, love, and honor, man, to the family. It's an honor and privilege to be on with my brother, Guerrilla Hebrew, my brother D Red, my big brother on the show here on the Most High TV. You know, this is a camp I'm heavily affiliated with, Sakari. That's a camp I study with on a regular basis. For y'all who didn't know, that's my chief priest right there. You know what I mean? So I know he about to give us some of that smash mouth therapy. You know what I mean? He just done came back from the Hebrew summit, so I know he on supercharge. You know, this is the second summit in the space of this year. So, you know, all praise to the Most High for, allowing us to come together and be fruitful. So I'm just looking, to listen, learn, observe, respect, take notes, and, participate where applicable in the discourse. So I thank you for allowing me to be on, brother.
All praises, all praises. Now, people, this is the time to get your pencil, your paper, you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, because we
All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to say thank you to the panel for having. Big special shout out to the brother Knowledge, Born of Law, Do the Knowledge Radio host, man. That's my main man right there, point blank, period. I'm just getting back here to the West Coast. I just got back, less than a week ago from the summit out there in New York. Such a beautiful and such a powerful time, that we had. At that summit, man. And a lot of things is happening in Israel right now. A lot of things is happening in the world. And what we have to understand is everything that happens in the world is actually directly related to the awakening of the Israelites, period. All these world events, when you see these catastrophes happen, when you see world armies getting ready to go into war with each other and having these conflicts, all of that is in direct correlation to our awakening and our consciousness, man. All right, as Israelites. So we must understand that, all right, because this whole show, the whole world is revolving around us, point blank, period, as the chosen of the Most High God. So a lot of powerful things is happening, and the chains of this affliction will soon be lifted by Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, man.
All right, brother. All right, peace. Now check this out, man. Before we go into the topic, or we go into the discussion, man. Let's talk about this summit that y'all just had about a week ago. Man, I saw y'all out there enjoying y'allself. I saw a lot of brothers coming together. So you was out there and encountered it all. So give us a little insight on how powerful just that was.
Man, I never seen brotherly love and unity to that level in my life. You see what I'm saying? It was resonating and it was so powerful. You can feel it, man. And it's no mistake. It's so crazy because in the midst of that summit, on the night of that summit, all of a sudden there's a bomb that go off in New York City. You understand what I'm saying? And that was spiritual. That's what people don't understand, because the fact that we got together, all these various camps was able to come together in one mind and unify and get ready to treasure on forward into the future. That in itself spiritually was a bomb. You know, the night before Midtown, we dropped a spiritual bomb when all the various brothers set up that 30+ man camp and taught in them streets, man. You see what I'm saying? So, man, it was the most powerful thing that I think I've probably ever been a part of. It was the time of my life, and if anybody missed it, I apologize to you that you couldn't be there, because you missed something spectacular, man. But at the end of the day, the work that we did there is going to resonate throughout the four corners of the earth in the awakening of the Israelites, most I will.
All right, thank you. D-Red, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna pass the mic over to you and let you go on and get it in so we can get this thing going. So D-Red.
All right, man. You know, I got a whole bunch of I got a million and one questions, man. But I'm gonna start with the basics, man. For the folks that don't know, man, tell them your story, man. Tell them how you got off into the whole Israelite movement. Tell them about your journey.
All right, well, man, I was young, man. I was 17, and man, I was on World Star Hip Hop, man. This is back in 2008. A lot of people didn't even know about World Star. World Star definitely wasn't at the popularity that it's at now, but I was somebody avid in interacting online. So, because I did websites and things of that nature myself from a young age. So I was on World Star. I seen a video, and in that video, I seen a picture of Caesar Borgia, who people commonly mistake as Jesus Christ, the white boy. I seen a picture of him with the horns on it on a sign, and it was holding it up. So that compelled me to click on it. I grew up in the Catholic Church. You know, my family on my father's side is Haitian, on my mother's side is Irish. So if anybody's familiar with either of those cultures, you know that both of them are deeply engulfed into Catholicism. Both quote unquote nationalities are about 85% Catholic, respectively. So I grew up engulfed in Catholicism as a result of that. But I always had an issue with going into church and seeing a white man on the cross and having to look to him as a savior. I had an issue with that always, my whole life. So when I seen that picture, I immediately clicked on it, because I'd always had a feeling that who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai, was a black man, but I never could prove it. I didn't even read the Bible enough to be able to prove that at all. So I clicked on the video, and I saw the elders of a camp known as Great Millstone breaking it down, going at it with a Colombian brother that was in the Marines, and he had like a white girlfriend. So they was going at it 30-40 minutes of beautiful and edifying footage. And from point A to point B, you know, by the end of the video, I had a lot of the foundational teachings of being a Hebrew Israelite. A lot of certain things that my father had already instilled in me and told me just by nature, you know, but it all made sense, and they were able to couple it with the scriptures, and it was so powerful that I was sold and I was hooked from that point forward. And I thenceforth declared myself a Hebrew Israelite, took my nationality back.
Hey man, that's beautiful. That's what's up. That's what's up. What do you think? We had brother Divine Prospect, and we had Priest Daniela on here a little while back. Okay, I'm gonna start with this question. What do you think about the state of Israel as of right now? What do you think? And after that, where do you think we can go, and how can we spread this message?
Where Israel is at right now, as the scriptures say, you smite the shepherd, then the sheep is gonna wander. Sheep is wandering right now, even amongst those who know they Israel. I see a bunch of wandering sheep. Sheep who are going to, a lot of which are going to continue to wander until the ultimate shepherd, Mashiach, who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai, come back. we gonna wander. You understand what I'm saying? We not gonna all unify. We not all gonna all come together. It's just simply not gonna happen. But I believe that enough of us are going to make a difference. Ones who is gonna have that conscientious mind to do so. So I believe what we got to do is basically we gotta go grassroots. You understand what I'm saying? We got to hit these streets. We got to go to these blocks. We got to meet our people right in the face and give what the brother, you know, a term me and the brother Knowledge Born have cultivated called the smash mouth shock therapy. We got to give it to our people raw and rugged in the streets, in their face, and make them understand it's time for them to make a change. You see what I'm saying? And what we also need to do is work on mobilization to get us out to these other countries. Because our people are in Brazil, our people are in the islands, our people are in Central America, South America, people all over the place. Our people are not just here in America. So we have to go out there and we have to be able to teach them brothers. And we need brothers who speak their languages. We need brothers who know the terrain. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something that needs to be done as well.
Okay, I think he might be having some.
Okay. No. I'm good. All right. So, why do you think a lot of other Israelite camps outside of the One West camps? Why do you think a lot of those brothers, some of the RBG brothers, I'm an RBG brother, but some of the RBG brothers and some of the Old Testament brothers, why do you think it is that they don't hit the streets or is more inclined to get out there and I guess you can say mingle with the people? What do you think? What is it about the One West camps that makes them more inclined to do that?
Well, quite frankly, you know, that's how One West started. When we go into Abba Bivens, right, the founder of One West, that's how he used to just be out there by himself, standing up on a ladder, speaking. You see what I'm saying? So that's our bread and butter. You know, that's the heart of our ministry. You see what I'm saying? Is going out there into them streets. You understand what I'm saying? And doing so. There's a scripture I want to get real quick. 1 second. Real quick. Okay, it is Matthew. All right, 1 second. So this is the book of Matthew 22:9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. And that's the fundamental principle that drives us to go out there on them streets, having that unction from the Messiah, from Yahweh, having that unction to say, you know what, you need to go out in the streets and bid our people. That's something that's been instilled in the One West going back to 1969. But why other brothers don't do it, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, because I sit back and well, I'm gonna say that we're gonna say that to the end. All right. What do you think? Do you think there is a way for us to work together more so with our Kemetic brothers? Because I'm in the process of I've been working with Lord Abba, and I've been in talks with Taharka Bay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to help him find a venue because him and Sharif trying to come down here to Houston. So I'm trying to work with those brothers. What do you think it's gonna take, or do you think it's possible for us to really build solely off of being quote unquote black? You know what I mean? Because I know my Moorish brothers don't like that. But do you think it's a way for us to build an interfaith coalition, whether it's a brother that subscribe to Kemet, brother that subscribe to Moorish science? Do you think it's possible for us to all work together and kind of put the differences aside to form a unified front to deal with the things that we're facing, like police brutality and things of that nature?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we can interface and we can work with brothers at least to one degree or another, predicated upon the fact that we have the ideology similar to the Moors, that I mean, our quote unquote, what some would deem our beliefs, we believe that we're all Israelites. You see what I'm saying? It's not about whether or not you put back on your nationality or not. You're still an Israelite, whether you like it or not, whether you think you're an Egyptian or more or whatever or not, you're an Israelite. So based on that fact, we can work because we have common problems. We all going through this hell together. So we can work together on certain things. Quick example, it's a sister. She organizes here in San Diego. I believe she's more, quote unquote, into the comedic science. But right now, a situation just occurred earlier with some damn Arab store owner insulting our people. So we gonna organize a boycott of that particular store. You know what I mean? So if I reach out to that sister, hey, look, we're going to boycott this store. You know, she gonna go ahead and pump that out. You see what I'm saying? Because we all are together as far as that goes. So that's definitely doable. And also we have to understand that we are sent as we are not of the world, but we have been sent into the world, right? And we are to be lights unto the world. You understand what I'm saying? So based upon that principle, we got to be a light to the Kemetic brother, to the Moorish brother, to all these other brothers to say, you know what? Look how the Israelite is. Look how powerful what he's doing is. Look how much he's standing on the square. Look how empowered he is by the knowledge of the Bible. Maybe I need to do what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? We need to be that type of positive influence, not just telling them and teaching them and barking at them, but being a living example of why their paradigm is inferior to the truth. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm with you. All right. Now we're finna get off into a few controversial things. I'm going to ask. All right. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about some of these other groups? You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't like to be called camps, but they're not one with like the groups in Chicago that are more integrationists. What do you feel about them? And then I'm gonna ask you a follow-up question.
Man, I feel what they're doing is cancerous. I'm encountering individuals that'll fight me tooth and nail to the death about accepting a white person, not a Chinese person, not even an Arab or a Hamite or a Polynesian. They'll fight you to death over the white boy, and they not realizing that in doing so they exposing themselves. At the end of the day, when Israel, you can sit here and make an argument and try to show examples of when we in our land and we have sovereignty and we have power, you know, us being cool with individuals that aren't Israelites. That's an entirely different story than when we are in exile and we're in captivity and we're under bondage and oppression, for us to start mingling with the oppressor, to start holding hands with the oppressor. There's a judgment that came upon the entire nation of Israel, good or bad. Whether you was a righteous brother or evil brother, we collectively got a judgment. With that being said, the Most High gonna judge us collectively. He gonna judge every other nation collectively for the sins of that nation. So we don't need to be integrating and grafting these people in right now when we have our own internal problems, and we need to be focused on gathering ourselves and separating ourselves from the filthiness of these people, these same people that are these outside influences that have caused us to err. And I'm gonna read. Let me just read some scriptures here. You know, I know they're gonna go and say the stranger. I know. But that's all right. We not. And here's the thing. Like, I mean, there's so many different ways to deal with that. But again, we not in the time of us being in our land right now. We're not in the time of us having power. We're in the time of gathering ourselves. So you mean to tell me in the midst of gathering myself, and then I got to deal with the fact that there's some brothers who may be Master's son who look like us and is amongst us. You see what I'm saying? That's bad enough.
Yep.
But then on top of that, you mean to tell me I got to bring Master in? Man, come on, man. You see what I'm saying? But let me bring this out.
I'm with you.
You see what I'm saying? So let's go.
I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. But I'm asking these questions because I know these are the type of questions that
people want to know.
People want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Inquiring minds want to know. I want to read this. This is Numbers, rather, 1:51. And the tabernacle. We build in a spiritual tabernacle, right? So we can look at this metaphysically and spiritually to its application. And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levite shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levite shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. Shouldn't be no stranger coming near our tabernacle. All right. Now we understand when we got rulership on the earth again, is everybody going to worship our God? Without a doubt. But that's not yet. We not there yet. So I'm focused on my people. I'm damn sure not focused on anybody else.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. So
That's right.
Hey, let me throw a little twist in here, though. You know, let's keep it like that. Now, with all that being said, right now, I'm not gonna just say the white man. I'm gonna deal with all other nations outside of Israel. Let's say that these other nations do, at this point in time, want to accept our Father, want to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, and want to put in their work to bring forth this truth. Do we deny them too? That's where I will be at.
I'm gonna deny anybody that's not an Israelite. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's how I'm getting down. Because historically, we can't trust these people. I'll read this here in the Maccabees real quick. Where I'm at. First Maccabees. It's a beautiful scripture here in the Maccabees, and it tells us exactly how we're supposed to look at these nations. It's First Maccabees 2:10. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? What group of people on this earth has not had a part in us going down? We can't trust them. Matter of fact, hold on. One more. Here in the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, here in the Apocrypha. It's the book of Sirach 12 and the 10th verse. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Matter of fact, continue to 11. Though he humble himself, though he act like he want to serve your God and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. You shall know that he still hates you. All right, let me go here, matter of fact, one more to the book of Ezra, because it was an example where a situation like that occurred in the time of our forefathers in the time of the Second Temple. So let's read about that here in the book of Ezra 4 and starting at 1. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord of God of Israel, they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur, which have brought us up hither. So they saying, hey, we want to worship your God. We've been worshiping and serving him. But what did our forefathers Zerubbabel say? But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, you have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us. So that's how we got to be, man.
Hey, like I said, I'm with you. I'm with you 9,000%. Now, all right. I gotta ask you one more. I'm gonna bring something else to you. All right. I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna go someplace else towards the end. All right. You know they having this award show. I already know where I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna ask all my guests this probably until the stuff is over with. We finna have this Black Power Wars. Now, with all the stuff that we got going on, 2 brothers just got killed recently. The brother in Charlotte, the brother in Tulsa. All the other stuff we got going on in regards to abortions and drug folks selling dope and all this old crap we got going on in our community. What do you think? Do you think it's time to be celebrating, or what do you think?
Is it time to be celebrating? Not really. But is the Black Power Awards a real celebration? I look at it as brothers getting a pat on the back for the work that they're doing and just getting a night off and a night to just enjoy that. And then it's, right back to business. I don't feel like that's I don't think it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. I know. What do you feel about the debates? Do you feel like they are edifying? Do you feel like that they are benefiting the community? Do you feel like they're a hindrance? Or what's your take on that?
I feel like the debates are good. Everybody know me. I'm a debater. You know, I came up. I've been debating since I want to say 2013. So, you know, I mean, I think they're good. I think they're very edifying. I think steel sharpens steel helps us to get more sharp and helps us to better present the information. You see what I'm saying? So I think the community has
Yeah.
grown a lot, and I think it brings people into the community. You know, there's people who have woken up off of the debates. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, D-Ray, before you go any further. Let's stay right there. Now, you just said a lot of powerful stuff right there. Why? Like, let's deal with maybe some of the comments or something like that you may have dealt with that would give you that mindset for you to say, well, yeah, the debates are helping people. So let's go into that a little bit. Like, give a few maybe testimonies or something that you know that people have shared with you that came from a debate.
Yeah, I mean, it's people who never even knew about Hebrew Israelites until some of these debates. It's people who was into some type of madness, some type of comedic thought or whatever, and then them seeing the debates got them off of that and started bringing them towards, you know, the Torah. So, you know, I've seen a lot of that, you know, and we've seen it on the comment board. It's a brother, it's brothers who are in the truth now that got a tattoo between their eyes. You see what I'm saying? Seeing things like debates and things like that has assisted in bringing them out of that. You know, finding out that the information that they thought they knew and they thought was so empowering didn't hold a candle to the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So I've definitely seen a lot of that, especially over the years.
All right, that's all. I just wanted to just go in there a little bit deep. You can go back, D-Red.
Okay, that's cool. Shoot. My next question is, uh, like, since we talk about debates, who would you like to debate, and why?
I wouldn't like to debate nobody. If anybody knows, in my quote unquote debate career, I want to say I've only called one person out for a debate, and that was like an open challenge debate. Outside of that, all the debates I've had, I don't go looking for debates. Somebody got to come and present it to me. The subject matter got to be on point, and the person has to be, you know, a worthwhile opponent. You see what I'm saying? But there's nobody that I really just want to debate, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Uh, what do you feel about? I mean, because uh, this particular brother I'm finna ask you about has on numerous occasions I've seen uh, said he wanted to debate you. So, what has held you back from debating Israel doctrine?
Great question. Big shalom to the brother Carl Albert. Peace to that brother. Much love to the brother Israel Doctrine Carl Albert. I just want to say that first and foremost. Carl Albert is a unique individual. He's a brother that's oftentimes misunderstood. He's a brother that needs to be suffered, if y'all know what I'm saying.
Mm.
But he's a brother that also does things that are very erratic, that are emotional, and that cry out for attention far too much. The brother Israel Doctrine, and you know, what we have to understand is just in relation to even the last question the brother asked, in all humility, but once you get to a certain level and your name gets a certain amount of notoriety attached to it, you don't just hop in the ring with any average Joe that want to come debate you. Floyd Mayweather didn't just take every fight. Everybody said they could beat him down. You didn't see him jumping at it. He picked the right opponents, and he did pick tough opponents still, but he picked opponents that he deemed worthy not only just in skill, but in drawing ability and notoriety and things of that nature. You can't just hop in the ring with everybody, because what that does is diminish from your brand and what you got going on. And all they do, all they're going to do, even if they lose, they're going to gain off of you, off of attaching themselves to what you have going on. I'm going to give you a prime example of this. A lot of people may not remember this, but there's a pastor by the name of Pastor Maurice Edwards. Pastor Maurice Edwards had reached out to Sarnetta. This is going back to, I want to say 2014. Reached out to Sarnetta and he wanted to debate with me. We did a live stream debate, first live stream debate in the history of Sarnetta TV. You know, and it wasn't structured properly, you know, so, you know, things end up going haywire. But, you know, so we ended up not even putting the debate out. But we ended up rescheduling it and doing the debate structured with South Showtime Debate Talk for You. But after that whole, you know, after the debate was over, brother by the name of YG Preach of Revolutionary Mind Cinema does a lot of this artwork for a lot of brothers. Brother Knowledge Born knows him well. YG Preach told me, he said, bro, he came up off you. All he wanted to do was burst into the scene, and he used you to do it. And after the brother put it to me like that, I said, I'm not letting that happen again. You know what I'm saying? Because he got washed up, but at the same time, he came up off me. So I said, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I'm very selective on who I will debate from thenceforth. But back to Israel Doctrine. So I won't just get into debate with anybody. So Israel Doctrine called himself trying to call me out for a debate. I'm talking about thirsting. And it's like, you know, I didn't see me gaining anything out of a debate with him. I saw him gaining everything out of that debate. So I refused to do it for quite some time. After a while, I started listening to Israel Doctrine shows. And I got affinity to the brother because, you know, I got love for the brother. So in that, I said, you know what, out of just love and respect that I have for you as a brother, I'm going to give you this debate. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it in the flesh. So he was saying Atlanta, then we were saying doing out here in LA. And then we had a spot in Chicago that was going to do a debate in Chicago with Israel of God and brothers I know out of Israelites trying to refine out there in Chicago. So when that situation came up, we got on the card. You know what I'm saying? They already had the debate, then we got on the card. Boom. Israel Doctrine ends up blowing the whole situation. Israel Doctrine wants to take a debate between he and I into Israel of God versus One West. Issue is, Israel Doctrine is not affiliated with Israel of God anymore. He came from that, but he has his own thing now. So he can't represent Israel of God. I was never at One West, but I am from a One West school of thought. You see what I'm saying? So he tried to change it and take it and make it into everything else to the point where it turned the brother who organized the event off so much that he just said, nah, y'all can't even do it. So at that point, he lost our venue. So then I took a step back from the situation because I said, damn, he lost our venue. He wants to start promoting an event that doesn't even have a location. So I said, nah, we ain't going to do that. I said, when we have a date and a venue, we will begin promotion. Then he called himself getting on the show and going on a rant talking about how I'm ducking him, even though I've already agreed to the debate. We're just waiting to look for a venue. Because he got on the damn show and started talking to me, talking about me crazy, I said, you know what? I'm falling back from the situation. And I realized even entertaining, debating you was a mistake because you just can't help yourself. That's why how you blew the damn venue, and that's how you blew even the opportunity to debate. You just can't help yourself. You're just too hasty in your spirit. You have no patience and you have delusions of grandeur. The brother really believes in his mind that he is the only person on the earth that has this level of powerful information that he's going to reform everybody. He's a brother who believes that. And you have to watch anybody who believes that. Anybody who has that delusion of grandeur to think that they're the guy that the Most High has sent to get everybody right on the planet Earth, and they're the only ones with true and proper understanding of the biblical text in totality. And he truthfully believes that. So in his delusion of grandeur and in him thinking that everybody's afraid of him because he's such a major threat, when that's not what it is, he's an annoyance, okay, and he's erratic. And that's why don't nobody want to mess with him. It has nothing to do with the quote-unquote level of scholarship that he presents. Has nothing to do with that. So that's why I wouldn't debate Israel doctrine.
Wow. Wow. I don't even have, I'm stumped on that one. Wow. That was a whole lot there. Whew. Okay. Now,
Hold on.
well,
Let's stay there. Let's stay there.
Go ahead.
Guerrilla Hebrew, I know you got them scriptures, man. Can we go into some? Let's go deal with why certain things like that is like unfutile. It's not really bringing edification when, especially if you feeling that way about the situation. Let's deal with like how that is unedifying to the people in which we are, or the sheep we are trying to bring into the fold. Can we deal with that a little bit?
Yeah, we can deal with it. We know that discernment is something that's important. The scriptures speak about smiting the scorner and not smiting a scorner. You see what I'm saying? There's times when you need to be able to discern when the smiting of a scorner will be to the edification of the sheep and when it won't be. With Israel doctrine, as erratic and crazy as he be acting, it just doesn't seem like edification will come out of the situation. You see what I'm saying? And that's something that, you know, when I send my prayers up to the Most High, I just want to be edifying, and I just want what I do to be edifying. You see what I'm saying? I don't just want to be just doing things just to do them. I want to be doing things that's going to contribute to the edification of the populace of Israel. So if you're so out of control that messing with you can conflict that, I'm not going to mess with you. You see what I'm saying?
So basically, there's no love lost towards the brother. It's just that
No.
you don't want to put that type of image either with him nor with you out there for the people, basically.
At all. Yeah, but of course, there's no love lost. I love Carl. Carl's just crazy, you know?
Yeah, that's my brother, man. I love him. That's my boy, so I ain't gonna even. So it's not. It is what it is. That's my brother, man. So.
Yes, sir.
Now you can do that. Yeah, you can go on back in, D. I just want to, go a little bit deeper on that one, so people don't take it as a personal attack or something. He really cleared himself up very well on that. So gotta respect it.
Okay, my next thing is, man, what's going on with this whole James White situation? Do you know how it came about? I saw your response. It was excellent. What's going on with that whole situation?
Man, so where the James White situation stems from is Vocab Malone going to Apology Studios doing the show. Bunch of people sent me that show when it happened. Deacon of my camp, second in command, Kai, he went on that comment board, reached out to Vocab Malone and arranged to sit down with myself and Vocab that we did up in downtown Disney up in Orange County. We was able to sit down. We did a discourse. Y'all can check my channel for it. Sakari 1715 on YouTube. So we did that discourse. After that, that's when Recall of GOCC had that debate with James White, which is Vocab Malone's boy, apologist, Reformed Baptist from Arizona. So when that happened, a bunch of people sent me that video, and I remember I was getting out of camp. Me and a couple of the brothers, we went to Chili's after camp to eat. Me and the brother Shamar, me and the brother Bazak. Bazak was raving about it. And then the brother Hakab in Seattle, he called me. He said, man, you seen this video? Like, this is crazy. I'm like, all right, cool. So when we riding home from San Diego up to where we live probably about 30 minutes from San Diego. When we riding home, I'm listening to the video and I'm just appalled. I'm laughing. I just can't believe that Ricard had done so poorly. So when we get in the house, me and Hakad do a live stream. Of course, he up there in Seattle, I'm down here. So we just do a live stream really for the purpose of kind of clowning Ricard. Like, how can you get caught slipping like that? Like, that was inexcusably horrible. Had nothing to do with, like, really James White. Of course, we took shots and said things about James White, but, I mean, I had no idea James White was going to actually watch the video. James White watched the video. Then he feels compelled to speak the name of my camp, Sakari. He feels the need to say our name on the video. So that prompts us then to launch an attack on him, disqualifying him and finding it funny how he just says all these things and it's contrary to what he does. So we kind of had just did a video just kind of getting at him on that level. And, you know, the back and forth kind of, and then we just kind of ended it with the roast of James White. But then he had to bring our name up again. Because when we seen Divine Prospect at his lecture in LA last month, I'm like, damn, like James is ducking you. You know what I'm saying? Like Divine. So then he responded to that. He didn't bring Divine up, but he brought us up. Well, we didn't say he was ducking us. We said he was ducking Divine. We have never expressed any interest in even, you know, discoursing with him whatsoever. So what happened? So, yeah, so he responded to that. Then we respond to him again, you know, just briefly. So, but yeah, that's basically, yeah, the James White situation.
So now, have you interfaced with any of these black Christians? What do you think about them now? Because I've noticed they become a lot more emboldened since the whole James White thing. They was kind of like quiet as a church house mouse before that, but once they saw that, it seems like that they have gotten, you know, they don't, you know, let me use some street stuff. They just started to let their nuts hang finally to go ahead and just, you know, come at us Hebrews a little bit more. Have you noticed that? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, it's you know, when it's like, you know, you use a street reference, so I'm gonna use another. You know, when you can call 911, you're gonna be bold. You understand what I'm saying? To other brothers on the block, you know, who can hold their own. You know what I'm saying? Similar situation. They trying to call them people. They calling them white folks, and they think because Massa is now launching an attack on us that they have the backing, and they feel like they have to do all the pawn work and the grunt work for Massa right now. That's what they're trying to do. That's why, man, you know, they're conformists, they're sellouts, and they are propagating the same thing that they learned on that plantation. That plantation told them that, you know, or really after slavery is when it really started coming to where they started giving that ideology that all people are one in Christ and there is no Jew and there is no Greek and that whole philosophy that came post-slavery with the mass conversions of our people into Christianity, because they had to do that to keep us at bay and not react how a logical person would after all that oppression and murder that they gave us. You see what I'm saying? So these are the same Negroes that came off that plantation with that.
I'll be thinking the same stuff.
Because the denial, even because you have certain brothers, like we said, who will say like, okay, you know, we could bring the Gentiles in. Even with that, right? The denial of what they call the ethnic hierarchy of Israel, a total denial of that. Come on, man. That's not in the Bible anyway. That is definite Satanism. You see what I'm saying? So for you to jump into that and say that there is no ethnic hierarchy, yet all the people at the top of apologetics are white faces. So they are inadvertently insinuating and imposing an ethnic hierarchy of you, of white people, and a white supremacy. But y'all are just down with it and y'all are doing the low level work for them. Shows that y'all niggas is nothing but puppets for Master.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that. I was kind of thinking the same thing, but okay. So now we're gonna have after this question, we're gonna have a kind of a where I'm gonna let the other brothers chime in. I'm gonna let Knowledge chime in and all that stuff. But my last question: what do you think about? I got two more questions. What do you think about the RBG Israelites? What is your take on them? Do you you know, brothers like me, Divine, JC Hughes, Brian Gaither, and a few others? What do you think about us? And is it, you know?
As far as the RBG Hebrews, Divine being one of, you know, the main proponents of that, you know, man, Divine is my man. been rocking hard with that brother, especially since meeting up with him in LA, and then, you know, the summit. Like we had Divine with us. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like he was with us all day, you know, all night Friday, all day Saturday. We had him riding around with us and all that. You know what I'm saying? So Divine, you know, that's my man, and I understand what he's doing as far as the RBG Hebrew. I know certain people are adverse to it, but what we first have to do is take a step back and analyze what it is. You have to know what it is before you can make a judgment upon what it is. So I understand what RBG Hebrew is about. I understand that we, number one, everybody should understand that we was in quote unquote Africa, number one. Number two, that RBG was founded by Marcus Garvey, who was a Bible believer, and many Hebrew Israelites were affluent in that movement. You understand what I'm saying? So really being a Hebrew Israelite is being RBG. All this other stuff is really not as RBG as being an Israelite. You know,
I agree with that. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, especially even Sarnetta even hated to admit it, but he admitted that Garvey was a commandment keeper. So, yeah, you know, I'm with you on that wholeheartedly. So my last question, I'm gonna let the other brothers chime in, is what do you think about about Black liberation theology? If you're familiar with that, and I'm asking you all of about all of the paradigms that subscribe to the scriptures for a reason, because I'm trying to show the people that even though people may have slight variations and slight differences in regards to doctrine, that we should all be working together, because like you said, we are the example. So that's why I'm asking them about this, so we can show the brothers that you know, everybody can work together. But so what do you think about Black liberation theology?
Black liberation theology, that's what this is. That's all that's in here. I don't know what people thought when they read this book, but the only thing that's in here is Black liberation theology. That's what this whole book is about. That's what the Messiah coming and all that's about. That's why Khalid Muhammad spoke about it. He said Jesus Christ, the Black revolutionary Messiah. So that's what this is about. It's about liberating our people, liberating our minds, and then ultimately liberating us physically. You see what I'm saying? So that's what all of us do. All of us teach Black liberation theology. And like the brother said, when you go to the book of Amos, a lot of people will read this verse in Amos. It says, how can two walk together lest they be agreed? You know, and we are agreed. What do we agree? We're agreed in the direction that we move in towards of Black liberation. So that's how we can walk together, is through the direction that we all moving forward to, is getting up out of this burning house and liberating our people.
Cool. What do you think about the Garvey movement? Again, I'm asking these specific questions because you see a lot of people, and I've noticed a lot of people trying to usurp the red, black, and green flag. I see a lot of people trying to usurp the Garvey movement, which is basically a scriptural based movement, and they try to misappropriate it by attaching it to doctrines such as Kemetic or atheistic or what have you. What do you think about that?
I think it's a joke, and I think these Negroes are jokes, and I think they're victims of white supremacist New Ageism, and they're trying to just paint it black. That's all they're doing. Quite frankly, again, like I said, being a Hebrew Israelite is what RBG is about, period. I've seen people get on comment boards and say things like Garvey or Khalid Muhammad would have never rocked with you. Khalid Muhammad rocked with us. Khalid Muhammad was with our elders. Khalid Muhammad said he is a Hebrew Israelite. He is the true black Jew. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I got you.
Sarnetta was his cameraman, and Sarnetta told me straight up he walked around with the Bible in his pocket every day. So what it is to be RBG, all the great men that ever were RBG believed in the Bible. So anything outside of that is uncivilized, and like you said, it's usurping, and it's appropriation of what it is to be RBG. You should have started your own shit.
All right. Okay, my last question. I keep saying my last question. I know y'all probably like this fool keep talking, but stuff keep popping in my head, man. Stuff keep popping in my head. This evolution stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't let you go without getting your take on this evolution stuff. I mean, Where is this coming from, in your opinion? Where do you see this coming from? And then I'm gonna ask some follow-up questions after that.
Coming from the devil the Bible speak about, the white man. That's just basically where it's coming from. Like what again, it's white supremacist new ageism that gets painted black. What happens is the white man creates a standard in the earth, and then you try to conform to that standard in the earth, but you want to make that standard black. So I mean, that's all that's going on. To say that a baboon on the wall of Egypt means that they believe that we evolved from monkeys is stupid. You see what I'm saying? Like that's reaching at absolute best. But it's funny because we have to pay attention to the most studied scholars of their community and that purport this information. When Brother Divine ran into Brother Uncle Keck, real black atheist, in Atlanta, I forget what festival was it. It might have been at Juneteenth, I forget. But basically, Unc had to admit in 2016, the most up-to-date and leading scientists have to admit that they cannot combat the Bible, because what they have found is that everything that we are made up of is found in the ground. The scriptures say that, with the water and the dust of the ground that we was made. So then now they have to even stop really coming against the Bible, because the scientific model that it is very consistent with creation as we know it today. So even people who are propagating certain things, they're propagating outdated theories that science as it is up to date right now no longer even disputes, but it's all to try to sound smart to crackers.
And to piggyback on what you said, I'm glad you brought that up about outdated theories. Science is even going to the point where they're trying to debunk the out of Africa theory as a whole. So I mean, so
that, the out of Africa theory is just, it's not even 100 years old. Before that, it was out of Asia. You see what I'm saying? So as of right now, that's how science is. It's ever changing. Like 100 years ago, they thought we came out of Asia. Now they think Africa. Tomorrow it could be America. They could change it at their will, and they could cook up a bunch of BS to try to substantiate it. And silly, simple Negroes are going to believe it simply because the devil put his stamp on it.
Yeah, and it's funny. I think it's funny because I think a lot of those guys end up trying to talk about the Bible as the white man's book, but they put more stock in what the white man say than we do. You see what I'm saying? Because the minute they come out with something, first thing to pop out is they believe it, they run with it. And now, why do you think a lot of our Kemetic brothers and sisters? I've done some research and I've talked to a few leading Egyptologists. Divine has talked to some, and in both cases, they pretty much say that they were pseudo. Why do you think that our Kemetic brothers have not been willing or put the same effort they put into debating the Moors and Taharka Bey and Ali's men? So shout out to my boy Taharka Bey. Shout out to my boy Lord Abba. Shout out to Ali's men. But yeah, why do you think that they haven't put as much effort into debating white Egyptologists who basically disrespected them and said that their work is pseudo or fringe work? Why do you think they're not putting that much effort into debating those guys?
Fear. That's got to be it, because they're gonna find out a lot of the stuff that they propagate is fake. For example, and it's romanticism. We were kings and queens. No, you weren't. Only certain people were that. The pyramids were built in the line with Orion's belt. Another lie. They believe in romanticism. So when they come with that pseudo romanticism, it's gonna get chopped down so quick just with people who are astute in the information that they're gonna feel stupid. Like, because these guys call themselves, they say they study Egyptology, but they don't. They're not Egyptologists. None of these people have a degree in Egyptology. And they're cleaving onto a academic discipline. It's not like, so it's not like us. Like I say, I believe in the Bible. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'll go into the Bible. I'll go into history and prove it. Whatever. You are literally attaching yourself to an academic discipline that is defined by, collegiate scholars. You know what I'm saying? In academia, it's defined by that. So when you try to say that you are a student of this particular academic discipline, if you truly are not the student of that academic discipline, you haven't attended the classes, you're not in the process of obtaining any sort of degree for it, then your credibility is automatically shot. You're just reading about what scholars are doing, and you're not truly making the study. You haven't been to the place to do on-site studies. Some people have went on tours there, but have they done the studies? You know, like I was with Reggie when I was out there in Harlem. Reggie's like, I've been there, you know. He can say that he's been there and done studies with doctors and things of that nature, but rest of these guys really, they can't say that. So they're afraid of having to face reality, and they're afraid of having to let go of the fairy tale, romantic, comedic utopia that they've all decided to believe in, like Santa Claus. But then they'll knock us for our quote unquote beliefs. But the difference between us and them is we have no problem interfacing with white so-called biblical scholars. At the end of the day, they're not the authorities. I wouldn't have a problem debating James White, but I'm not thirsting for a James White debate. If James White wants to debate us, or if any of those apologists want to debate us, then they'll have to get in contact with us and we'll have to work out the kinks and make it happen. It's nothing to us because we do this and we really believe, and the Most High has given us this information. We understand we're walking in the Spirit. They don't have any of that. They just have a utopian dream that is not doing a damn thing for it. You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you 10-4 on that, man. But now I'm gonna turn it over to the brothers, man. Shoot, Gadiah. Y'all can tune in there.
I don't know about the host with the most Gadiah, man, but I don't appreciate how I'm expected to follow all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Knowledge. You know you my dog, man. Come on.
Hey, we did a tribute on the show to Dr. Amos Wilson earlier today. And I wanted to talk about identity theft. I wanted to speak about that because the basis by which my brother was speaking, and you asked a question about unity. You asked a question about unity. Could there be unity between the Hebrew Israelites and the Kemetic community? When we understand, if we all agree, all of us agree, well, some may not agree, so I'm just speaking about us. We agree that our enemy is this devil that the Bible speaks of, this white man, and we look at Satan was the most subtle beast of the field. If we look at that, we have to look at approach now. We have to look at approach. And then we have to look at the power of technology with that approach. I deal with African-centered psychology, so I'm speaking from a psychological standpoint in this regard. I'm saying that if we look at something, and I use this as an example, so I use the Bible as the same example. If we look at something like the Bible, and I was on here before, and you know how I feel about the Bible, and my chief priests know how I feel about the Bible. This ancestral inheritance that we receive in a way to trace a lineage back to a before now time, a before bondage time, a before captive mind situation where we existed and we were thriving. You got all these examples that are right here. And not only do you see that, it survived every bit of turmoil and hell that we received in regards to our being made bond and being in captivity, even to the point where it foretold the circumstances and the methods used to bring us to our current situation. This is something that's left as an inheritance because our ancestors knew we would come to a situation where we would lose our way. So I'm tying this in all together in regards to the psychology, the history, and the book. Now, if we look at something like the Black Church, we're approaching Nat Turner's birthday this weekend, this Sunday. You see what I'm saying? The setting that took place, the meeting place where we got together to devise plans in regards to insurrection, in regards to uprising, and in regards to resistance to white terrorism, tyranny, and oppression, was this meeting space that is now termed the Black church. So we have allowed that same enemy to dictate how we interface based on its ability to weaponize our meeting space based off of that imagery and a connection to the white image. So what the white image gives us, it robs us of our divinity. It robs us of our connection and identity to that place that we use that was sacred to plan. So if you go back to the plantation, with this renewed spirit that we had and this transformative power that we possess, even with captivity, we would go to that place and strategize how we was going to bring war. So now, when the slave masters got word of that, they start putting white people in the church. They start putting these white devils in the church. So they took the white person out of the church and put the white image in the church. So you would have the same interface in your mind to quiet and quell the rebellion and the spirit of insurrection in regards to liberation and freedom. So with that imagery that's associated now with the institution that has sustained us through the years and what our ancestors left for us as a space and a place to facilitate a situation of remembrance, an example of righteous character, of ability to come together amongst ourselves and be able to receive messages necessary to free us, has now become a space that's been shown back to us by this parasitical devil that leeches onto a living host and allows it to do its will. You see what I'm saying? Bringing us back these bastardized versions of something that we once held sacred. So in the spirit and the lineage of our ancestral line, the identity crisis and the identity theft has taken place on the psychology of our people in regards to our inclination towards our meeting place. It's simply a meeting place. We know that we are the temple that is used as a vessel from our Creator. So the demonization of a place where we go meet is another tool that is used, and we become operatives in that regard in regards to a physical meeting place where we meet on the level, so to speak, to have that discourse, to have that exchange. So now everything that's associated with it has to become demonized, because once you allow the devil into this circumference or into this space, then we give this devil like credence and power in our affairs. You see what I'm saying? So now we got a tug of war back and forth out of the same book based on our interface and based on this infiltration of this enemy into our affairs. So this is what we're fighting. We're fighting the eradication of this enemy, leaving this psychological imprint on our brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? So if this meeting place of power wasn't powerful, then the cracker wouldn't have ran up in the church and shot them people in Denmark Vesey's church and then burn down all these other churches. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have firebombed with sticks of dynamite. Earlier in this month, we celebrated that firebomb and the explosion with those 4 black girls in Birmingham, Alabama. If this meeting place wasn't a place of power, wasn't a place in a reminder of insurrection, wasn't a place in a hotbed where we can go to and return and remember who we are and remember who our enemy is. They wouldn't be going to these churches right now, these bastards, this Trump and this Clinton. They wouldn't be using and weaponizing this place, this meeting space, to garner our power and use it against us if it wasn't an ancestral place that we know and deem as sacred. So we have to remember that when we go into these spaces. So now when we speak about unity from a psychological standpoint, a mutual guard of respect has to be garnered amongst the people foundationally around the principles of liberation. So if we are principled people, we know that in order to interface with a brother or sister who is an Israelite, we have to respect the law, statutes, and commandments in which they come in, because they come in that name. So respecting that gives you access to a conversation to be able to speak about liberation and their contribution. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not coming in the spirit to sustain long-standing contingency operations in that regard of mutual respect, you're not going to have any unity. You're going to have dishonor, because you are dishonoring a legacy and a lineage that you can't even fathom. You see what I'm saying? This is a timeless existence, because we're coming from the creative force into the physical realm to incarnate. So there's a whole nother set of timelines that exist. You see what I'm saying? So the power of the literary word that we come in, the power of the physical words that are spoken, they all have a resonance within us, and it speaks those words of our long-standing ancestors who sought death so that we might continue on their work. You see what I'm saying? So I don't give this devil no credit for a damn thing. I don't give this devil no credit for no damn hieroglyphics, for no Egyptology, all that shit. He can burn alive with all of that. I don't give him none of that credit. I'm not giving him that power. I'm not giving him no power to define what my ancestors did and did not do. Or nowhere. Because every single place where this devil has gone, he has stolen, he has robbed, he has remixed, and he has destroyed the moral fabric and connection to the landmass and to the people. So we can't trust anything that he says. So we only see the reaction to the psychological damage that has been done with our interface with this subtle beast of the field. He's a damn beast of the field, and his head should be taken off at every juncture and point. So when we get in regards to this space where we're dealing with this institution, they destroy our institutions, every single institution that we built, or put us in a situation where we no longer value them. So it's the same thing. So we have to be able to come together with a mutual understanding in regard of respect to one another in regards to that interface before we can discuss anything else. And it has to be dealt with on the level of respect and honor and ode to our ancestors and to our psychology and ode to our creator. You see what I'm saying? Because then we can have a conversation. Because if you right within the spirit and you coming within the right spirit and you dealing in the right psychology of yourself and you dealing with your ancestors, you know, in regards to examples of, you know, character and all of that, then we can have a conversation. Otherwise, you doing exactly what the devil does. You doing exactly what the devil does, causing division, being divisive, and expecting unity. When they speak of unity, they're talking about they self. When we speak of unity as black people, we're talking about ourselves as a collective. We ain't talking about no individual because we don't function as individuals. We are attempting to assimilate into something that is foreign to us, that is unnatural to us, and we're expecting to achieve results based off an example of an unnatural beast. Truly. So when we return and ode, and this is one of the pathways back to who we truly are. This is one of the pathways back to our identity. So we have to respect and give honor and credence to know that our ancestors died in hopes that we would continue on in the pathways that they did, and they took some of these motherfuckers out with them, you know, to ensure our success. So we are duty bound now in the space where we are to continue to fight and create a space for future success for our future generations. So we got our ancestors on one side and we got our future on the other side. And we have to decide in the present to honor that gift. So that was my 2 seconds on the joint right there.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? AKA, we're gonna start calling you Do the Knowledge, AKA the long-winded one. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be your nickname, because your boy,
That's
if
right.
anybody can, that dude there, he gonna bring the knowledge, and he's gonna do it in a meticulous way to where he gonna break it down to the molecules, to the point where it might take him it, it might take him a minute to get to the point, but he gonna get there. The boy gonna get there. But hey, like I said, I mean, I think this has been a pretty good interview. I don't know if Brother Gadiah got anything you want to add, but I think that everybody done pretty much got they feel. They pretty much know where the killer gorilla stand on a lot of his issues. Uh, I guess I'm say Gorilla got any closing words.
Well, in closing, I want to say, my man Knowledge Born of Law, he broke it down so powerful and so plain and to the point. You understand what I'm saying? And it exposes these integrationalists who claim to be conscious, whether it be Hebrew Israelite or anything, who are trying to bring this crack in. When he's around, it's going to soften you up. And that's not what we need. We don't need that. My ancestry is Haitian. During the Haitian revolt, we took the men that didn't want to kill the white man, and we made them do it. We made them spill their blood. That's the type of spirit that needs to be brought. I got to give all praises, honor, and glory, of course, to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and say thank you to the panel. Thank you, brothers, for having me. Thank you, brothers, for scheduling this retake. My bad about yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Glad we can do this. This was powerful, and but Most High willing, He magnifies it.
All right, man. I'm just gonna close out by saying, man, look, our show for everybody, man. We want everybody to come on, give your perspective. I'm gonna reach out to a few of my comedic brothers, because it ain't no plex over here, baby. We ain't tripping. But we're gonna ask you the tough questions. We're gonna ask you the stuff that people want to know. What's going on in the rumor mill in the so-called conscious community. I like to thank Gorilla. I like to thank my boy Knowledge Born a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I want everybody to know that, hey, it is what it is. We gonna keep doing it. Keep bringing hot people over, man. And we just wanted to say peace.